Now with the release of the all-new DJI Pocket 3, is it worth the upgrade? Should I upgrade from the Pocket 2 to the Pocket 3? So in this video, let's put these two cameras side by side and let's talk about those upgraded features here on the Pocket 3 and help you determine if it's going to be worth it for you to upgrade from the DJI Pocket 2. First and foremost, let's talk about size and weight, because that's the first thing you will see and feel when you grab these two cameras. As you can see, the DJI Pocket 3 definitely is a little bit bigger than the Pocket 2 from the front and also from the side view. Now, when you hold these in your hands, the Pocket 3 definitely feels good because of the fact that it just has a little bit more surface area for you to hold the camera, especially if you're trying to do some shots. Now, that is going to come at a cost because it is a little bit bigger. It's also going to be bigger in your pocket, comparing that to the Pocket 2. The Pocket 2 has a really tiny form factor, and it's a plus and a minus because it's good because if you're traveling with it, it's really good because it's really small. But for some people, it might just be too small in the hands. And even for me, I like to kind of carry it with that extension on here just so you have a little bit more grip on the Pocket. So there will be a trade-off in size between these two with a larger Pocket 3. Now, when it comes down to stabilization, they both use that 3-axis gimbal. The Pocket 3, very similar in design to the Pocket 2. And if you're wondering about the difference between mechanical and digital image stabilization, make sure you guys check out my full review video on the Pocket 3. Have some side-by-side comparison with the Pocket 3 and the GoPro Hero 12. The biggest benefit with the 3-axis mechanical stabilization is that you're gonna have a lot cleaner, a lot better footage in low light scenarios. Next, we'll talk about this right here, which is probably one of the biggest differences with these two gimbals. We have a 2-inch touchscreen that rotates from vertical to horizontal. Now, another feature that the Pocket 3 can do that the Pocket 2 can't is shoot in vertical format. Now, unfortunately, it's not a full true 4K vertical format. It does crop in to 3K at up to 60 frames a second, but at least it does create a self-contained video. That's something that the Pocket 2 can't do. You are able to now adjust all of your settings on here easily, especially when you want to do something like tracking. You are able to just actually select the subjects here, where on the Pocket 2, it was pretty difficult to not only see your subject through this tiny screen, but when you wanted to make any changes or want to do anything with tracking, you would have to normally plug in your phone to use the Mimo app, and you would normally carry your phone and the Pocket 2 just like this. You would pull up the app and you would have to shoot with your phone. Now with the Pocket 3, you don't have to do that. You don't have an adapter. You don't have to plug in your phone to the side of it, which really was kind of like dangling from the side. You'd have to get a separate mount and all that stuff. You don't need any of that because of the fact that we have a large touchscreen here on this camera. Next, let's talk about sensor size, and we have a big update here. 1/1.7-inch CMOS sensor on the Pocket 2. Now we have a larger 1-inch sensor on the DJI Pocket 3. That larger sensor does bump up the quality of the Pocket 3, especially when you're shooting in low light scenarios. Having that larger sensor allows the camera to take in a lot more light, which means if you're shooting in those dim morning or evening types of environments, you're gonna have a lot better quality with the Pocket 3. And now I'm sitting under a bunch of trees. How does that dynamic range look here? And I'm gonna actually bring this up. Let's go all the way into the sun and let's see how this looks. Got the sun right behind me. See how well this can expose for it. We have the Pocket 2, kind of looks like a silhouette from what I can see on my screen. Now sticking with the cameras, the one thing they do have in common, they both shoot at about a 20mm equivalent lens, and they both offer a wide angle lens if you want a little bit wider of a perspective on your shots. You're able to shoot those wider shots with this right here. It is a wide angle lens magnet that clips onto the very front of the cameras. And while it's great that it is an option, I still just do not like these magnets, mainly because of the fact that, again, it's another thing you have to carry with you. I mean, yes, they put it into this carrying case. You're able to put it with a magnet on here as well as on the Pocket 3. However, especially on the Pocket 2, this magnet was just not that strong. This thing would fall out all the time. It is stronger on the Pocket 3. We do have a larger lens, which means we have a larger magnet. Next, we'll talk about active track, and that's that ability for the camera to follow a subject, follow your face. We have Active Track 3.0 on the Pocket 2, and because it is 3 years later, we have Active Track 6.0 on the new Pocket 3. Doing some basic side-by-side tests of the Active Track, you can definitely see Active Track 6.0 a lot better than, of course, the 3-year-old Active Track 3.0. The subject is able to be tracked a lot better, especially when you're going behind objects. It definitely does recover a lot faster and a lot smarter than the Pocket 2. Now, when it comes down to audio comparisons, surprisingly, even though the Pocket is a few years old, the audio is not too bad out of the Pocket 2. Comparison-wise, they're very, very similar as far as internal audio. The one thing I'm definitely noticing with both cameras is that the Pocket 3 is locked on face tracking. The Pocket 2 will, if you just move out of frame a little bit, especially when you're trying to do stuff like this, like more of a vlog, if it misses you, it'll miss you, and then it doesn't recover as fast. So with the Pocket 3, I haven't had to double click or click on the screen again. Now, there were some times where I think the Pocket 3 was a little bit better when it comes down to some of the ambient noise when I was doing my vlogs. You hear a lot less of the kind of external ambient noise on the Pocket 3 than I did here on the Pocket 2. Now, the biggest difference when it comes down to audio is this right here. The Pocket 3 allows you to hook up something like this, which is the wireless transmitter, the DJI Mic 2, directly to the Pocket 3. Now, here on the Pocket 2, we also had a wireless transmitter, which is this one right here. The difference with this system is that you would need this right here, which is they call the do-it-all handle. Here, you plug it in, and now you are able to have the wireless transmitter transmit to this receiver. This is a built-in, it's a receiver for the audio. It also gives you ability to have a quarter 20 here at the very bottom, put this in a tripod, but you would have to hook this up in order for the mic system to work. Where here on the Pocket 3, you don't need that do-it-all handle. It's actually built in. The receiver is actually built into the grip of the camera, and now all you need is this right here, which is the DJI Mic 2. This setup comes in that creator combo. Now, the one thing that's really good about the new DJI Mic 2 system is that if you have two of these, two DJI Mic 2s, you're able to hook up two different talents with these mics. Or if you want to do something like a podcast, an interview, you can now hook up a mic to your talent as well as hook up one to yourself. That way you're able to get audio from two different people, and you don't have to add anything to the Pocket 3. There's no additional receiver. Everything is built into the Pocket 3 handle.
Guess what I did at school today, Aiden?
What?
I did math and art. How about you?
I played with my friends and on the playground.
Nice. I also made buttons and stickers. How about you?
And I also ate lunch.
Nice, me too.
Now, when it comes down to video resolution, they actually both shoot in 4K 60 frames a second. However, here on the Pocket 3, we have the ability to go into slow motion or slow-mo mode, 4K 120 on the Pocket 3. That 4K 120 is something I love using on this camera as well as my mirrorless, especially when I'm out there shooting, getting some B-roll. It makes it a little bit easier to work with in post if you needed to slow it down and smooth out some of the footage. As far as camera and aperture goes, we actually have a larger aperture or wider open aperture on the Pocket 2. We have an f1.8. We're here on the Pocket 3, we have an f2.0. The one thing that is new with the Pocket 3 is that when a face enters the screen, the camera quickly adjusts the exposure to try to get you a little bit more natural skin tone of those faces. The next advantage we have here is more geared towards advanced shooters that need some of these settings. The first thing we have here is time code. So if you shot with multiple cameras and you wanted to have or sync up time codes across all those cameras, you have that ability here on the Pocket 3, as well as if you color grade and do some post-processing, you have 10-bit D-Log-M on the Pocket 3. That's something we don't have here on the Pocket 2. Now, besides the camera specs and comparisons between these two, we also have some accessory updates. I did talk about the microphones. The DJI Mic system, or the Mic 2, is a huge update. And also we have a little update on the tripod. Cool concept, but I do like the fact that we have a little bit bigger tripod here on the Pocket 3. Now, there's definitely a ton of new features on the Pocket 3, which I didn't mention in this video. If you guys want to see those, make sure you guys check out my main video here above or listed down below. In this one, I just wanted to go through what I felt like some of those main features you want to think about if you're looking at upgrading from the Pocket 2 over to the Pocket 3. As always, if you guys got some value from this video, a big like would be much appreciated. This is Ultra Saucio with FlytPath.com. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.